On its face, Friends is misleading because the person who linked all those people, the real friend, wasn't even in the show. So I went to a school in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. I'm Canadian. That's why. You scratch me, it smells like maple syrup. I was doing some peer coaching, a guy named Matthew Perry. This kid, good kid, funny guy, he would always hang around, he wanted to talk to me. He said, you know what, you're handsome, you're a nice guy, you think you could teach me how to act? I said, yeah. Do you know how good I am at acting? Do you have any idea how funny I am? He's auditioning for this new show. They want to do this show set in New York. How did I spend most of the late 80s? Who's a New York kind of a guy? Matt comes to me and he says, can you help me? I'm trying to get set for this show. I need to get that New York feel. I'm like, I lived in New York. I shared an apartment with a guy, Kenny Kramer, his girlfriend Elaine. Like, I'm your guy. So I started working with him, and he had this little ensemble of friends that he had put together, and they're all kind of auditioning for this show. And I said, look, I'm helping you with this. We're doing a great job. Why don't I audition too? And they're like, what do you mean? I said, in the script, it's 7 friends. It was called, I believe the show was called, These Are 7 Friends Who Live in This Big Apartment, was the name of the show. And I said, and there's just 6 of you. And they're like, yeah, but the 6 of us will go and audition, and then there will be someone else who will audition. And I said, I just helped you for this audition. Why don't you let me audition? And they're like, because you're like old enough to be a grandpa. And I said, that's what makes it funny. He could work in a coffee shop. It could be under the apartment that they have that's the size of a barn, right? It would be amazing. I run the sides. I do the dialogue that I write. It was very good. At the time, UFOs were huge, so I did this whole thing about a guy who got abducted by aliens.
7 friends in an apartment in New York. You are auditioning as Larry. You may commence whenever you are ready.
Actually, I have my own sides that I wrote here. If I could just, I wrote my own little scene. Martha said she didn't want me to do it, but I just want to give it a try, if that's okay.
Proceed.
Okay. There was like a communion sort of between him and the aliens. It was very interesting. How's that? I'm gonna just switch. Can I switch sides? Can I go like this? Can I do this? How does this look? They didn't go with 7. They called it Friends. The show, at its root, the premise was so flawed that it never went on to success. I believe that they only aired the pilot episode, and then the show was never seen again. Pilot night, they shot. I said to Matt, get me on this set. I promise you, when they see me in this episode, they're gonna love this character. This sort of older Svengali character that manipulates the cast and makes them do stuff. And they shot the season opener. If you see that pilot, and I'm in the back, in behind some stuff, and I'm looking over, and I'm like doing this kind of like spell thing, right? And if they had kept that in, I'm telling you right now, that show would have gone on for years. And Matthew Perry would be a known name today, but nobody knows him now. They don't bury the dead in New York. They put them out in the river, and the turtles eat them.